Welcome back to this hobby of ours. My name is D, and in today's episode, this is what we're getting into. So let's hit the deck and check it out. And finally, getting to do the Hanhart Steve McQueen video. What better time to do it now that my red line is in the house? Been wanting to do this video for a long time. I am also a great fan of Hanhart. I've owned, must be 6, 7, 8 of their watches over the years. You know, trying to get that elusive 417, the true Steve McQueen watch. The 417, they only made 500 in steel. Not sure how many in chrome-plated brass. I think the one off to the right is chrome-plated brass. That crown seems to have a little bit of wear, but if I'm being honest, that's the best photo on the internet of the watch I could find. And you're going to want to note that the chronograph hand is the thin style. It is not the leaf style that is shown in this one. And clearly this is a chrome-plated brass model, so this is the regular 417 that has seen a life. And these models came out in 1957, so well after World War II. The funny thing in my search for the 417 is the discovery of the Vixa Type 20 watch, which is a French watch. This is an all-steel watch. Every Vixa Type 20 is all steel, and it is made by Hanhart as war reparations between Germany and France after World War II. So this watch came out significantly, probably, 10 years. The Vixa predates the 417 by at least 10 years, which is a curiosity. And it's all Hanhart inside, it's all stainless steel, it's just a Vixa dial. So is it more of the Steve McQueen watch than a chrome-plated brass version of the 417? I don't know, probably not. It's a fun debate. But as we move forward to see what modern chronographs from Hanhart can scratch at the surface of the 417, the first one we're going to encounter in the late 90s is the Admiral. Now, I was searching for an Admiral for many, many years, and it's kind of a unicorn. And it's about 95% of the watch. The syringe hands on the Admiral, they're close. They're close, but they just don't get that. They do not have that same syringe style. It just, I don't know. They're actually more syringy, if you will, but they just don't look as great. So these Admirals are still out there. And as you're hunting them, the Admirals with a display case back have the Valjoux, the Valjoux 7750, and they're thicker. Whereas the ones with the closed case back have the 7760, and it's thinner. Why? 7060. The 60 is a manual wind movement. And if you're going to hunt these, you're going to be north of 2,500 these days, and I just don't know that they command the value, especially considering what we're going to be getting to in later parts of the video. It's a cool watch. It's a good watch. I hunted it for many years unsuccessfully. You're going to want to note the asymmetrical pushers on this line, which is not consistent with the 417. The 417 has symmetrical, but this asymmetrical styling is consistent with the Flieger chronographs from Hanhart with the cathedral hands. We don't have an example of that today, but those are the ones I held the most of over the years. 40mm case, 20mm strap, great watch. They also released it in a white dial, which is a reproduction of their doctor's chronograph from the period, which is pretty epic. They medical officers' chronographs in white. They were really, really quite gorgeous. Same deal, 60 and 50. And then modern time, they released the Sirius, and I own this watch. This was my first Hanhart. Sometimes I regret letting it go. You know, this is actually a 12-hour chronograph, 3 subdials, same stats mostly. It's a 50. And I dare say that if this model was around back in McQueen's day, he probably would have chosen it because it's got a 12-hour register versus the 30-minute register on the other, on the 417, the other Hanhart he owned. Great watches, one and all 40 millimeters. And then we flash forward to about a year and a half ago when Hanhart brought back the 417 line. They first released it in bronze with a collaboration with Revolution in a short run, and I own this watch. You know, coming in at 1900 and subsequently on Chrono and elsewhere for much more. This was a gorgeous watch. You'll note the return of the symmetrical pushers. This would have been a house watch because it was so beautiful. And I knew that it being in bronze, it wouldn't stay beautiful. It was going to patina. But so gorgeous. Jim, if you're out there, who now owns this watch, a friend, I sold it on to him. Hope you're still enjoying it, sir. And it was beautiful, just beautiful. But ultimately, the 42 millimeters, too big for me. And especially on a Bund strap, which they make amazing straps for these watches. Just couldn't pull it off, it's too big. And then later on, they released it in stainless steel. And this is the model that most people in the modern age are probably aware of if they're tracking Hanhart. And it is, you know, the resurrection of the 417. However, it's in 42 millimeters, just like the bronze one was, and also too big for my wrist. Just too big, couldn't pull it off. Also find that the sub-dials are seeming a little bit too small. I like how the numbers, the numbers on the dial kind of overran the sub-dials in the 417. I don't mind that. They just seem a little bit too tiny, but just a gorgeous watch. And you know, the one thing we're having a problem with this watch right now is constrained availability. You know, new from Watch Buys in the US. You can get them for $1,900, but I don't know how the production is going in the the pandemic, whether or not they'll be able to keep up with it. But the belle of the ball, why we're having the video now. I should have gotten around to this video a while ago, but it's just as well because it's a very exciting time. I picked up one of the Red Lions, one of the Urban Gentry TGV 417 ESs, and boy, is it a gorgeous watch. Felix and team really did a great job with it, and I got it from watchbuys.com, the US-based Hanhart seller. And these were going for $21.40 plus tax. You'll end up about, I don't know, 22, almost 23 if you're in the States. And then I made $150. They sold out immediately. I haven't seen any shown up on the used marketplace yet, but it's such a great piece. I don't think anyone's going to part with it. Myself included. 39 millimeters, perfect sizing. She's a little bit thick at 13 millimeters, but still doable. And the aspect ratio with those subdials, far, far better. It's got the leaf handset. It's got the restoration of the shockproof anti-magnetic right above the 6. And it's a piece of the Urban Gentry history. Why not? What a cool thing, right? And that the red pump pusher, I have mixed feelings about the red pump pusher on this line. I don't think any of the 417s came with it. What I read and studied about the red pump pusher is that it's from the wartime. And one of the flyboys was over there, and as he was going off to a mission, his girl took her red lipstick and put it onto the lower pusher. That's the lore. And I don't think the 417s coming out in the mid-50s would have had that as production. I could be wrong, I don't know, but all my research points to that not being a thing. But the Hanhart full kit, the leather travel pouch it comes with, just gorgeous. What a fabulous brand, and they are so cool. I've been corresponding with them for several years now about their lineup and everything, and just a great team. Buy with confidence from Hanhart. They make a great product. And so, the shakedown. If you're gonna hunt a 417, shame on you. I'm hunting one too. Please don't hunt until I get mine. No, I'm kidding. You gotta be careful on the 417 listings on Chrono 24. And the reason being, I'm seeing, speaking generally with Hanhart period, I'm seeing a lot out of Japan, which doesn't make any sense. I figured I would see more out of Germany and in Europe in general than Japan. I don't know how they're so big over there. That's awesome. It's just a curiosity. I've been seeing a lot of period 417s in steel and in chrome-plated brass coming out of Japan. especially during the pandemic, the front end of it, and it didn't make any sense. How could there be that many? And there were a lot of dial errors, meaning the printing on the subdials, the lines going around the subdials and the numbers, they weren't matching up to any of the Hanhart reference photos. So I don't know if that means someone's been monkeying things or converting the 1939-1940 Flieger chronographs to look like the 417, maybe with a new handset. Something is amiss, because there just can't be that many floating around. It's a super rare bird, especially if you consider that the steel 417 ES, they only made 500. There can't be that many. And I don't even think McQueen's actual watch has turned up anywhere. If anywhere, it's probably with his son Chad. So that if that watch ever comes to auction, okay, it's not going to go as far as the Newman Daytona, but I would say it'd probably have to go pretty high. I would love to see that auction. If you're going to hunt an Admiral, usual spot, eBay, but go to the German website natively, ebay.de, because that's where you'll probably find more examples, or probably Chrono 24 Japan. There's a smattering of these out there right now, but they're like 28, 3200, way too much, especially considering that Hanhart is doing what they're doing with the Red Lion, and obviously they're going to release more of those once they get them out to market. Lastly, if you're looking at the 42 millimeter, if you can get them from watchbuys.com, just go direct. Best pricing, $1,900. If you can pull it off with your wrist, by all means, get the 42 millimeter. Although, if you're in the mid-range, if you're 6.5 to 7 inches, you may want to consider getting a 39 millimeter, because even on the bund strap, it's going to suit a larger wristed person far better. Happy hunting, and do not worry, Hanhart will most certainly have more 39 millimeter models, just not the Red Lion, I suppose. I don't know. I wonder if they would do another run of Red Lions, because it's sold out within 20 minutes to 30 minutes, near as I could tell, because I was tracking it. I'm on WatchBuy's newsletter, whatever, their email. I bought mine, and I went back to check for a friend. I forget, it was pretty quick, and they were all gone. So let's get to unboxing mine and have a look at it. And here we have it, finally arrived. The Hanhart 417 ES Red Lion. Special collab between Hanhart and TGV from Urban Gentry. Been after this one for a while. And chasing the real deal 417 forever. And until I find one, this will do. This will do quite nicely. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. These dimensions, the 39 millimeter. And this bund strap is just amazing. But in truth, yeah, 39 millimeter is the way to go for the Hanhart. Been through many iterations of their watches over the years, trying to fill that need for the 417 ES, which is the all-steel version of the 417 Steve McQueen watch. Only 500 of them out there. That is in truth one of the watches that I would sell a bunch of watches to get. I always heard that concept. Oh, if you found one watch you really wanted, would you sell a bunch of watches to get it? That is definitely that watch for me. Can't seem to find one. So I don't want to do a full-on review of this watch per se. Gosh. Hobby of Hours, very small channel, but out of respect for TGV and this being his baby, I want to let him do the full review and things of this particular watch. I have enough experience with Hanhart that I did want to do an episode about them, about this watch, and all the iterations I've gone through in my watch collecting journey to try and get to the 417, culminating in this beauty here. So yeah, they did a really great job with it. Just floored And it's, I mean, how cool is it that someone in the YouTube community can have impact on a brand like Hanhart? And how awesome is that? That's pretty great. Okay, so somber note. There are only 150 of these, and they sold out immediately. But surely Hanhart is going to release more in this case size. I had the other two models, and they were just too big. The bronze and the stainless in 42, just too big for me. So this is just the right fit. Now let me put it on the wrist. So there we have it on the wrist. 6.5-inch wrist, looks good. It is going to stand a little bit proud due to that Selena movement, and the bund strap is adding most, if not all, of the height. But the strap is so gorgeous, so beautiful. And with 20mm lug width, you know, you could pop another watch on there and put this on a low-rise strap. You can even take this cuff part out of this strap, and it would wear a little bit lower. Still a little bit of a placeholder in case I ever do find the 417 McQueen watch, but until then, or if never, I'm happy with this one. So have no fear, Hanhart will be releasing more 39mm, more of these in 39mm, just not the Red Lion edition. So happy hunting out there. Hope this little guide and this trip through the Hanhart 417 and its substitutes was of value to you and will help you on your hunt when you get out there to find your own. All right, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.